Hello, one and all, and welcome back to Dreamworks Dungeons and Dragons. I am your dungeon master, August Schmid, and with me, as always, are the wonderful members of our group. Say hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
Awesome, awesome. It is good to see you all, and indeed, last we left our intrepid party of adventurers having made your way over to the city of Ylvanor, making your way through the town towards a library where a librarian was able to inform you all about some of their books they have. The big thing, of course, being after some time, you found a book about a mysterious figure known only as Pitch Black. Something that indeed may be the cause or even the solution to some of the troubles you have going on. But, of course, before too much of this book could be read, more about this figure, a Triton, this fish person, found themselves right behind you asking what you were doing there. And what we are going to do to start off this session is I would like the entire party, if you would be so kind, to roll me a perception check.
It'll take me a second. I'm so sorry. I forgot to bring up D&D Beyond.
You're totally fine. So we have Shen with a perception of 8 currently.
I had a rough night, so that's valid. That's fair.
Yeah, I think it really is all of you have had like a rough couple of days.
I rolled really well though.
Ooh, all right. 18.
Mine's
Uh,
taking forever. Like,
You're totally good. Gingy with a 4. Rough but understandable as well. Dora with a nat 20. Here's what you all will see. As this Triton figure emerges out of the shadows, all of you turn and will notice certain things in quick successive order. As the fish man asks you what you are doing here, suddenly there is a puff of fog cloud and commotion. Landing on the desk in front of you all is a squirrel. As this squirrel appears, you see he looks at you all, screams, "You are all going to die!" and starts zipping in and around in between plates of armor, books, and all of you in between. Adora, on a natural 20, you see, now fleeing the library, a small raccoon holding the hilt of your sword and the book you were all looking at.
oh no, you don't! And I'm gonna run after him. This dumb rodent.
All right, you're running after him. What's the rest of the party doing?
Running after Adora, I mean.
Minirth, alrighty.
I'm trying not to metagame. I know what's up with the raccoon.
Um, so the scroll has declared that we are all going to die. Shen is going to look around for any sign of danger and cautiously prepare either probably to flee said danger once he can identify it.
Excellent. If you are staying and preparing, a couple people are going. I guess just for Valka and Gingy, would you rather stay in the library or go with Adora?
I'll go with Adora.
Here's
All
my
right.
thing. I feel like Walko wouldn't like jump into the chase so much as like probably try and shoot the raccoon because it's a small little creature that probably can't dig across the bolt. But like retroactively, I know that didn't happen, or I don't know how we're doing
Well,
this.
I will let you know this. You would not have time to hit the crossbow bolt because, Valka, you did not succeed on the DC 20 check to find said creature.
Okay, well, in that case, it's that like most of the party took off running, and I feel like they can do that. I'm gonna stick around and see what's up with this Triton person.
Excellent. In which case, what I will say is this. I need everyone but Shen to roll initiative, as we will start with Shen in the library. Again, this very cautious, like, everything happens, people start running, the squirrel is everywhere. We cut as you are in these small shelved rooms full of books, everything going on. The Triton has immediately, as the squirrel is moving in and around, you watch the Triton reach out his right hand, lightning fast grabs the squirrel, and you watch a bit of arcane magic erupt out of the scales and gills, and a little bit of lightning travels down and shocks the squirrel, which immediately disappears in a puff of feather and smoke.
A puff of feather?
A puff of feather and smoke.
I would not have caught that.
Indeed, as this happens, the figure then turns and looks at you, Shen. As he's doing this, he kind of stops. Just, why have you come here? What are your friends doing? Where are they going?
Okay. I'm going to take a few steps away from this Triton.
Okay.
And we've come here to seek our destinies. And who are you?
You see that his looks at you and kind of like rather interestingly notes you. The fish you see before you, again, this person is very much like what you would consider a Triton to look like. You're seeing they have a bit of that like dorsal fin almost that kind of hangs downwards, a bit of like scale and fin, and as they look at you, you realize that they are wearing what you would assume to be more priestly clothing. A little bit more of robe with leather bands around the arms and waist rather than perhaps like normal clothing. Specifically, also, you're realizing this person is not wearing any form of winter garb, as I would say passively, Shen, it's that this kind of race of fish are probably very well adapted to being cold-blooded and therefore have no need for such garments. But as you look at him, he kind of looks at you. He doesn't seem immediately hostile, but instead is looking as if there's a question you should be answering.
Okay. So he did not. So it seems like maybe he could be just a resident of the library working here. If he's not openly hostile, I'm still going to keep a hand on one of my knives just as a precaution. But I'm going to just directly ask him, what can you tell us about Pitch Black that these books can't?
You see, as you say that, giving a question with a question, this man stops. You see his eyes blink very wide. So you are already aware of the danger that the world is in. We must retrieve your companions, as the woman knows not what she should do.
Again, who exactly are you? We have been destined to save the world.
Yes, my name is Zemis, but you have not come to save the world. Indeed, you may be here to destroy it. And as you realize Zemis saying these words, his eyes full of a lot of truth, you think. He seems to be very truthful in this. We will cut as Shen, you and this figure standing down, to outside as Adora, Minarth, Valka, Gingy, I believe, still on Valka's shoulder. All of you are running. Oh, Valka, I'm so sorry. It sounded like you said you were going to follow Adora.
No, sorry, I thought it meant, like, I thought I said, like, if everyone else is already following, it seems like overkill. And then to, like, yeah, anyway.
Excuse me, then I do apologize. So, you and Shen are in this library together. So you would hear of this conversation, everything going down. we will still be cutting for the time being outside, which would then be Adora, Minarith, and Gingy. As you are all running, Minarith, go ahead as you exit outside. I will need a perception check to find the raccoon.
Okay. Let's see. Ooh, 21.
21. You're realizing the raccoon is running on the rooftops and already has a bit of a lead towards what you could consider the ocean northward of the city.
Okay, I'm going to point in the direction that I see the raccoon running, and just going to say, I think we need to go this way, and start going towards that direction. I guess I'll full dash. Except actually, I'll stay at the base of the building to help give a leg up to the rest of the party, which I guess would just be Adora and Gingy.
Gotcha. So even though everyone knows where it is, it's like making sure not to run too far ahead to be able to help everyone else.
Yeah.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
In which case, we will then... Gingy, now that you have the direction, would you like to start running, or is there anything else you would like to try?
Do you want to be on my shoulder, Gingy?
Yes, please.
Sure thing.
I would like to offer this raccoon a cookie and see if he will come.
Go ahead. Raccoon's pretty far. Go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
Okay. Where's my persuasion? Oh, I don't have good persuasion. No! It was almost a 20.
You, on a 3, the raccoon turns back far enough as you pull out a cookie and kind of like gives a big old like curious eyebrow raise. And as you offer the cookie, he kind of just, sorry, cookie dude, my friend really, really needs this, and just keeps running.
Okay.
That will be the raccoon's turn, which keeps running. Or excuse me, Gingy, anything else you want to try?
No, that was it.
Okay, just that, like, maybe persuade this raccoon come back. Adora, what would you like to try?
Okay, so I am going to be using everything I have to pursue this creature, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do I need to make any checks to get onto the rooftops at all?
Yes, if you're going to get onto the rooftops, you can either give me athletics to try to pull yourself up, which might be a little bit harder, or an acrobatics, which might be easier, but at the cost of some movement.
I got a +6 to athletics, so we're rolling that.
Sweet. Yeah. Go ahead, give me that athletics check.
Do I give her the help action?
Oh, yes, Minarith is giving you the help action advantage.
Okay, so I'll roll it again, take the higher one?
Correct.
Okay. So while we wait, sorry, it's still spinning. Hey, that's actually a better number. So in total, if I can do the mental math before it shows up, 22.
Hey, 22 is really good. As you 22 will pass the DCs well and truly needed, all of you see Adora starts running. Minarith, you offer cupped hands, and as Adora's foot places, you heave up. Adora, you fly up the remaining feet onto the top of the rooftops and can see that indeed almost, doing my math right, 80 feet away is the raccoon across a couple of rooftops. Would you like to movement and dash?
Kind of. I want to use my free check first.
Yes.
I want to intimidate the raccoon.
Go for it, yeah.
I just flung into the air, and I just 3-point landed on the roof. That's gotta be intimidating.
Yeah, make me an intimidation check.
Oh, poop. Well, that's a synth 10.
A synthetic
Nah.
10. You're good. As Synth 10 comes off, you see the raccoon turns and just like, it's nothing personal, scary lady. I think lives are at stake. And just like, again, he's doing that like waddle run where like he'll hit all fours, but because he's carrying things, it then like pushes him back onto his hind legs. And so it's kind of this like flop run across the roofs right now.
Cool. I'm going to be fully sprinting towards him and yelling back, "It is kind of personal. I need that sword to save lives."
As you run, that will get you 20 more feet behind the raccoon, of course. As that happens, we cut back inside. Valka, Shen, and this fishman known as Zimus sitting here. What would you like to ask Zimus? Again, Zimus has just given this information. Do you have any other questions?
Maybe I like missed part of the earlier conversation with him, but I thought he said something cryptic like the woman is confused or whatever, and like what woman was he talking about? Was that something like Adora chasing the raccoon, or like I'm not sure I followed the context there.
I assumed it was Adora chasing the raccoon.
It very well could be, if you want to ask him to clarify it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, what woman are you talking about?
You see, he turns, the one-eyed woman in the prophecy.
What prophecy?
The prophecy. You see, he turns, you do not know of the prophecy.
We haven't been told much.
Then we must get her back before she creates too much chaos.
What is this prophecy, Triton?
As he turns, Fisk. I am known as a Fisk. Tritons are of the southern seas.
Okay, Fisk. What is this prophecy?
My elder gave me this prophecy, the last message I've heard from him, stating that a human woman with one eye would not only save our civilizations, but the kingdom of Ylvanor itself. Everything here is in danger, and that her losing the sword shard would lead closer to a greater treasure that he has.
I'm going to kind of look over at Valka and just kind of raise an eyebrow, like, what do you think about this?
Well, I think she just lost the sword, so there's that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. However, so she's trying to get the sword back. So if I understand correctly, then he is suggesting that if Adora gets the sword back, then that's going to cause other further destruction. Is that correct?
It sounds like it.
Okay. In which case, Shen is going to go after Adora then.
Alrighty. So if you're leaving Valka, would you leave as well?
I might like ask this Fisk dude if he's gonna stick around for us to bring our friend back and like explain things to her. Like, can we bring her back here and you'll like wait?
You see, he actually agrees that it's just, I will hide myself in the library amongst the books. I shall not be seen, lest wandering eye discovers my presence. Please find her. Bring her to me.
All right. So yeah, I'll go with Shen then to try and track her down.
Yeah. I'm also going to say that I am not immediately thinking like, yeah, let's just bring him and do whatever he wants, but we're definitely going to let Adora know that some Fisk person is looking for her with a prophecy.
Yeah, we definitely want to like share information.
Yep.
Excellent.
Okay.
In which case, bring up at the bottom of the initiative, Shen and Valka, as you then run out of the library after all this has happened, you have just seen Minorith and Gingy are still close enough outside you can see them, and already far across the rooftops, Adora has given chase to the raccoon. But at which point we will come back to the top of the order with Minareth. As everyone has now rushed outside, what would you like to do?
I think I'm gonna try and get to the rooftops. Can I do another perception check first to see if there's a house with a rooftop that's pretty low to the ground? It'd be easier to get up there.
Yes, you may. That sounds excellent. Go ahead and give me that perception check.
16.
Excellent stuff. On 16, yes, there does seem to be a rooftop, one of these lower thatched roofs where you think it would be a much easier acrobatics or athletics to swing yourself up onto the roofs.
Sweet. I'll go ahead and do an acrobatics check to get up there. Oh, no. 12.
A 12 acrobatics, because it's not a complete success, it's going to spend all of your movement just getting up onto the roof right now. But still, again, 12 is good enough to, once you are up there, Minareth, you can see that everyone's already running. Would you like to take, then, any other bonus action stuff to keep moving, or what would you like to do?
Well, I was thinking, I can do Misty Step. And then I remembered that I have Gingy, and Gingy would not be teleported with me.
Indeed, Gingy would suddenly be on the ground.
Okay, so I won't do that. How far away is the raccoon?
Right now from you, the raccoon seems about 80 feet. Adora seems about 60 feet. And then you have just gotten onto the rooftops near the library.
Then I have nothing that I can cast that's within range. So, well, actually, I have heard what the raccoon was saying to Adora.
Yes, because you're outside, that sound is traveling pretty easily right now.
Great, then message has a 120-foot range, and I think that would be a little bit wiser than casting Firebolt. So I would like to cast message into the mind of this little raccoon, who apparently can talk, and just say, I'm so sorry that your friend needs this. I just want to borrow it for just a few more minutes. We had some really important information we were looking for. And that's probably all the time I have.
As you get the message...
You cast Fireball, it's Braxton's character. So.
I will let you know, the raccoon is going to message back just in that, like, listen, it's not personal. We've got a boat. Like, it's very rude to keep our boatmaster waiting as he keeps running as fast as he can towards the port.
Sorry, I did not say that to him. That's Lonnie.
I know. As he runs, Gingy, you are on the rooftops, of course, with Minareth. What would you like to do, Gingy?
I'm debating offering him a pie.
Just more bribery?
Let's try it, and then... Yeah.
Alrighty.
I over... How does a 16 for a pie sound?
A 16, I will let you know, he'll do something. As he's running, he just... The pie smells great! Throw it up!
I'm small. I can't throw very far. You should come down.
UC says, no, trust me, just right up in the air. Just straight up.
This isn't working the way I planned. But it's stalling him, so Minareth, keep going. Or Adora, keep going. Because I've got him stopped.
Alrighty.
So I'll, attempt a few kind of fake throws of the pie carefully without breaking, and then see if, Minareth would be willing to toss it up once we've stalled him for a little bit to see if Adora can get...
Sure.
Gotcha. I'll let you know, it doesn't look like he's stopping, but he seems very adamant on throw the pie into the air. As that happens, everyone running along, that will make the raccoon's turn, who is going to use, as been noted, an ability. He is going to move first 80 feet and then another 80 feet, ending his turn now from you, Adora, almost 180 feet away. As he calls back, you see he's just like, listen, I'll leave you something at the docks. Just, I'm so sorry. Just throw the pie. All will be good. As this raccoon flips all the way 180 feet and drops down a rooftop. Adora, what would you like to do upon hearing this from the raccoon?
If you're talking, you're muted.
Yeah, El, we can't hear you right now. Are you good? Oh yeah, now you're muted. I think she had to step away real quick, it sounds like.
Sorry,
Oh, you back? You're good.
yeah, no, I am, my mother showed up and wished to talk, so I
Oh, you're good, you're good. So,
So, dude's running faster.
yes, basically he has just, it looks like doubled his speed and has gone now a further 160, and some of that last movement, it looked like he dropped off of the roof.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I have an idea if you're willing to let me try it. So with an action, I can make it a dash, right? If I
Yes.
second wind, can I use that to make more movement?
Unfortunately, no. Second wind
Oh.
cannot provide movement. It's really only a hit point kind of ability right now.
Okay, I'm gonna keep pursuing, but as I am, I'm gonna yell along the lines of, I will hunt you down across every corner of this plane. No hole will be able to hold you, you cannot hide,
The raccoon gives that little, right before he drops, a little thumbs up. Just, again, throw the pie up and I'll leave you something.
I'm gonna go ahead and throw the pie at him.
You huck the pie. As it leaves your hands, what you see, Gingy, coming out of a small cloak, like a cloaking device or invisibility, a small little robotic creature whirring and purring like with wings of a drone, swoops down, grabs a pie, and just starts flying high, high up into the air and off over to the ports.
So I guess, side note, I'm just going to keep running. That's my whole turn. I'm going to sprint. I'm going to keep going.
Keep going. What I will say is this. As you keep going, we will watch Adora with all your movement. Unfortunately, this character is a reskinned Tabaxi. And for all the speed, by the time you get to the ports, you have just seen a ship is pulling out of port a good couple 100 feet away. On the very,
Can I see the name of it? Can I see the name of the ship?
You cannot see the name of the ship. This is not a name ship. It looks like a merchant or just generic traveling ship. That is actually one of the things they specifically wanted, is just a quick ship. But Adora, as you reach the port, you see at the dock, right where this ship would be, there is a note, and underneath that note is a book. as you reach down, you just see scrawled in very hastily written script, just like, hey, so sorry. I really needed to save my friend's life. I've made a copy for you. And Adora, you realize that this has been a magically duplicated book of the one that your group was reading.
Okay. Well, at least we have the book. So she's going to pick it up, and then she's going to immediately look to the closest quartermaster, whoever's in charge of the comings and goings. Sorry, and ask what ship just left off, or like what was its heading.
Yeah, easily enough. You kind of like whip around looking. Eventually, you will spot the boatswain here on deck. As you do so, he looks at you and just, oh, that ship that just left. Well, it looks like it's one of our traditional boats. It's actually commissioned here out of Ylvanor. We send it down to the small country of England, and once they get there, we send them right back. It's more for chartering of persons and goods. Why do you ask?
Thank you for letting me know. I missed one of my friends when on the ship. So, but thank you, sir.
Right.
I'm gonna walk
As he finishes, Minareth, Gingy, Shanvalka, all of you will meet up at the docks next to Adora as the boatswain just kind of like gives you that little salute, just like, have a good day, and he walks away.
Adora feels a little bit of a pang for a sailor she once knew, and then shakes it off, and then just holds out the book to her party as they get up with the note on top. And she's just going to go, that rodent stole the biggest artifact of my entire world and received a pie. I look over to Gingy in return. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be rude. I pass over the book to Valka and Shen, who are looking at it mostly. This book.
Excellent. For Shen and Valka, what would you like to do now that you have this book and that you've caught up?
Okay. So Shen is going to acknowledge. So that sword was vital to your whole future. We've received.
Sorry, how do you know it?
You just said that sword was the most powerful artifact of your entire world.
Uh-huh.
We've received a prophecy for you that you receiving it could lead to the entire destruction of your world.
Oh.
Well, I mean, we met a man claiming to have a prophecy, but you should probably talk to him.
Oh. Yeah,
Remember
where is he?
the man that met us in the library before you all ran after the raccoon?
Great, let's go to him, and then if it's not anything of importance, I say we go to England for no apparent reason. With that, she walks away.
I feel like that wasn't a very, very informative thing. But at least we got the book, and I guess I'm just going to follow because I'm very interested in the fact that this guy actually seems to have prophecy. Sounds like he might be reputable.
Gotcha. As Adora and Minareth walking away from the docks, who wants to hold on to the book? Because I know Adora said she was going to hand it over to like Shen or Valka. Does anyone want to take the book into their inventory?
I can grab the book unless anyone feels super strongly about it.
Alrighty. In which case, Valka, go ahead and just add to your inventory Beings Most Evil. This is the book from the library, of course, that contained information about pitch. Um, as you do so, all of you can head back to the library. And within a few more minutes, again, having to travel back across the city, closer again towards the more center area, uh, you'd be able to enter the library and start moving through after finding your way back to the library inset where you saw this Fisk. The figure you saw does not appear to be here, but you would note there is a written note on a desk before you. Who would like to read that?
I'm happy to.
Excellent. You grab this note, Shen. You realize that the note written in common is noted: Adventurers, please find me at the Emerald Cauldron. I do not feel open or safe out in the open. Find me here. And you see he has written the Emerald Cauldron on it.
So, Shannon's going to read that aloud to everybody.
Oh, you have got to be kidding me. For real?
Have I ever heard of the Emerald whatever it is?
I don't think any of you have heard of this, just as you've freshly come to the city. So it's kind of up to you. It's like, I guess, do we want a chance finding this dude?
He's luring us to a secondary location.
My vote is to find him.
I mean, I am very want to trust people who have a connection with divining anything. So I'm okay with meeting this dude. That's probably naive and not safe, but Minareth's down to go to the Emerald place.
I feel like we all would point out to Minareth, though, technically my dude didn't predict anything that didn't happen. There is no, like, proof that he is a diviner. He just said that. So, like, if your line is, oh, if he's a diviner, we must trust him, that's if he's a real diviner, even for Minareth, right?
No, that's fair. But he did seem to know Adora, and the fact that she's trying to find her sword.
Because he saw her sprint out of the library following the sword.
That is a good point.
That's just the point that Mako would make, not like, anyway.
Oh yeah, you're good. I just have a good feeling about. Actually, you know what? Before I say that, could I do an insight check on the all of 30 seconds that I met the dude?
Yeah, no, I'd allow it. Like, if you want to make an insight check of can we trust this random figure?
Oh no, 11.
Minareth, he's given you no reason at all not to trust you.
He has very, very trustworthy eyes. We have to go meet him.
Here's my only thing as Volk. It's like
Trusting someone based off of their eyes.
Yeah, and it was like, yeah, sure, I'll like hide out in the library and wait for you guys. And then it's like, nah, meet me at the secondary location. I changed my mind. Like, it seems weird.
Perhaps he's in trouble.
The future is malleable. If he wanted us to know this prophecy, he would have stayed. I'm with. Oh shoot! Sorry. I'm with you, Valka.
So Dora's gonna speak up and go, listen, apparently this dude has knowledge about me that I don't know. I just lost, like, my only connection back to home. I want to figure out this lead and make sure it's a dead end.
We can go. I'm just saying, be very ready for things to go wrong.
Oh yeah, no, I'm always ready to.
You weren't ready for a raccoon to steal your sword.
That's a good point.
I'm sorry,
You
it's such
see
a dick thing to say.
Adora slowly turns
I just
red,
could
like
not
a
help
tomato, and
myself.
goes, well, I didn't know that that kind of creature lives here, okay? You know, like, basically very defensive, but, like, very red.
Mm-hmm.
As that intense burn goes down, all the books themselves, ooh. But that just might be the library sounds. Indeed, though, if Adora, of course, if you would like to head off to the Emerald Cauldron, anyone in the party, of course, can follow as well.
I assume we'd all probably go with her?
I will say we're slowly figuring out the party vibes. I'm just always cautious.
Shen is actually going to maybe spend a little bit of time looking through the markets, just trying to restock, trying to find a little bit more black powder as well as other things for his alchemist supplies.
Gotcha. So on the way, of course, to the inns and taverns, let's find maybe some places to stock up. I love it. Shen, would you go ahead and give me an investigation check?
Yep.
Oh my gosh. 21. Shen, on the way, you find yourself passing through many different open market stalls. Again, the day has now waxed long. The sun has not yet set, and yet there is much to be bought and sold. After some time, you do see what looks to be a person selling different, what we would call uh, powders. It's what kind of catches your eye. Heading over, you notice that the elven man is slowly grinding away at a bit of pestle mortar, and you are noticing it looks very much like black powder, but not as refined in some of his open cart stalls here.
Okay. I guess as we were passing then, Elf, do you have anything of finer quality?
See, he looks up. Well, I do have some powders, of course, if you'd be interested. What kind of finer quality are you looking for?
Um, I'm going to. I have one bag left of black powder.
Yeah.
I'm going to briefly kind of pull out just a little bit of it and rub just some across my feathers, and let the elf also rub some across their fingers, and just something a bit black powder, a little bit more refined, without any of the dust and dirt in it.
He kind of takes this and just, you speak of fine black powder. Don't wish to be a burden there, my friend, but I only carry unrefined sources. You see, he kind of pulls out some. I have, of course, saltpeter. It's a preservative, additive, and fertilizer which could be used, but I do not have the time nor methods to refine it into gunpowder. Of course, if you are wishing for further gunpowders, I could, of course, try, but I would have to take commission work.
I will work with the unrefined. Yeah, and then Shen would just like to buy a couple of bags. He can work with, or at least attempt to work with unrefined stuff.
Excellent. If you want to buy, 10 bags of unrefined saltpeter is going to cost you barely 1 gold piece. It's really not that bad.
Cool. Let's do that. Let's get 10 bags.
Sweet. As you take this potassium nitrate saltpeter, of course, you grab it. Of course, the man will let you know. He works here pretty often. The elf stays here. So if you need any other bags, he has access, of course. Uh, Finishing, of course, as you all pass along through the streets of Ylvanor, eventually you will come upon a rather large, impressive inn. This is one of the good inns here in town, known as the Emerald Cauldron. The inn is a grand stone wall building with a yellowish tile roof. You can tell, of course, it has several large rooms to accommodate a variety of either townsfolk or adventurers. You can also see out behind the inn itself, there seems to be a large private bathhouse with steam that seems to curl and make different shapes in the cold air of the afternoon. Entering into the inn, you will be greeted by a female halfling who kind of saunters up, just, good evening, my name is Droz. What can I do for you fine people?
We're looking for someone named, and looks over to.
Was it Zimnus or something? Zimus?
You see Droz. Ah, Zimis. I believe he said there might be people coming from the Fisk fellow, of course. Rather greenish scale. Yes, you'll find him over back corner of the bar. Just hail down one of our servers if you need any food or drink.
Thank you.
As Droz kind of gives you a polite little bow, heads back off towards kitchen serving areas, you head through, and indeed, there are a lot of patrons present. You're seeing both dwarves, humans, halflings, and elves moving back and forth. And as you go, you will hear, of course, some of these rumors in town. As you are moving through the tables, a couple of different people have started up conversations. You hear, right, I'm personally coming here because I heard some giants, but I haven't seen anything. They say someone brought something down, some strange seeds, but I need to go check in on that. Could be great. You hear another saying, no, telling you this meat has just gotten so expensive. All the meat in the kingdom, really. Something about everything becoming like super gross and tainted. And you even hear whisperings of like, no, honestly, I wouldn't have come here tonight. I would rather be at the snowball. But of course, Yennefer Elkhorn found dead. Pity. She was the best, of course. You couldn't find better mead than her tavern. But, the snowball, who knows who's going to run it now? And as all of these rumors kind of pass over you, just gossip and talk, after a time you do see Zimus sitting in a corner, now kind of cloaked up, having pulled more cloth over the scales and fish.
I'm going to nudge Adora and gesture to him.
That him?
There's your fortune teller.
Right, then. So Dora's going to walk up and tap him on the shoulder and lean a little bit against the bar.
You tap him. I should say this is over in one of these corner like stall kind of areas.
Oh. Okay.
As he has gotten himself a side booth. As he sees you all approaches, the woman with one eye, please come sit, and kind of beckons all of you to join him in this booth.
Right. So what's the deal?
I didn't catch the last part. What was that?
Sorry, I kind of figured out because I noticed that Megan wanted to say something.
Oh.
No, I didn't. I don't even know how I got unmuted. Sorry.
Oh, okay, all good. basically just saying, right, so what's the deal then with, a prophecy or something?
You see, Zimus looks kind of hushes his voice. I was not sure I would find you here, but what I can assume late master told me that I would find the human woman with one eye in the dry city of Ylvanor.
Hmm. I mean, are there many women with one eye in the city?
You see, Zimus kind of looks just specifically one who held a sword that was broken at the hilt.
Oh, yeah, that kind of makes it a little specific. Okay, so what's the deal?
As he kind of looks, he stops once again, checks the bar. You see, he looks very nervous. I did not expect to find you in the city itself. It's a dangerous place here, as many were looking for that sword, and indeed it is safer that someone else has it but you right now.
Why is that?
As he kind of looks, and of course, I will kind of share his story. Anyone can please interrupt me if you have questions about his story or like points that come up. Zimus begins. You see, I am a Fisk, one of the fish people that lives here in the northern waters. We have our kingdom of Obenarin. This lies northward underneath the Shelval Plains under the oceans, not even a mile off from your kingdom. Our people have always remained genial at best, but of course dark tidings have occurred. Strange rumors of people and swords and magic are sweeping the lands, and I was tasked to come here. Not even a few months ago, I was a student of Redis. Redis was a intense cleric of the Fisk people, and one night he came back in a rave. He had found a metal object, he said, some part of a sword, he claimed, and that it was his purpose to go away. I didn't understand much. I thought he was mad, but indeed, weeks later, I received a message from him saying that this was his last sending, something only I could hear, and thus I will tell it to you. A woman with one eye, carrying the broken sword, will appear. As he continues, he says, the message concluded stating he had hidden the sword in a place that could only be found by you and your companions. As he kind of looks amongst the five of you, I couldn't make sense of it, but since that message appeared, strange rumors have occurred in both the above and below worlds. My kingdom has become overrun with danger and disturbance. There are many who seek to overthrow our kingdom, and I can only assume this here. Do you all know of the importance of this northern kingdom?
No, not that I know.
As you see, Zimus kind of looks amongst you all. Ylvanor is the last kingdom of the free folk. We have not much here. Obenarin, of course, being of the Fisk, we have always ruled under a triumvirate, but even now these three are led astray, and I fear, of course, for the crownship of Ylvanor itself. Nations have gone to war. Indeed, one of the largest kingdoms of what we thought were humans has become set under tyrannical rule of one King Charming, but many others seek refuge here. This is a kingdom not yet thrown into anarchy or other form of chaos. And so I came. I have studied. And at this point, he kind of looks more directly at you, Adora, as you see, says, from my understanding, what you carried, that sword of great importance, is utterly useless.
What? Useless? What do you mean useless?
useless in its present form. You carried but a hilt and broken sword. The hilt, as far as I can see, and I see at this point, he pulls out from underneath his robes a rather interesting looking book, written what you could assume to be some sort of kelp. The pages seem to kind of gloss, and they are not written in what we would know as ink, but almost like an etching upon the kelp itself. And you see, he says, "This sword you carried, as to my understanding, held great power, yes? But that
Yeah.
was not even the tip of the iceberg. The people that wrote upon this book, ancient people, indeed some say before the Fisk and Triton were separated, state that this sword held great power in every alloy of its creation, and indeed that it held a much higher purpose. That the hilt of the sword was merely a containment for it all, something to keep the power from ripping apart the world as we know it. And so, I believe that my late master took a fragment of this sword, something holding great power even unto itself, and hid it somewhere in this city. But this kingdom will fall if we are not careful. Something seeks to destroy it, and I believe it seeks to destroy this city indeed, so that the peace may not be found."
Oh. Oh. Okay. What process? You name it? Oh boy. Okay. So hit these first. But in order to, okay. Yeah. So basically, Adora is kind of at a loss for words, and it's just kind of sit there for a bit.
You kind of sit there. I will actually say, Zimus has kind of reached a momentary crux of a point here, and is open to like other questions or clarification. You think?
In the library, you told us that should she, should Adora obtain the sword, that it would cause a great destruction, and there were prophecies and everything, but you don't actually have any real prophecies, just a hunch.
You see, Zimus kind of says, "The prophecies which I held were old legends of both this people of Ylvanor and the Fisk. From my understanding, if this woman," and you see, he says again, having yet to like go through formal introductions, "were to claim the sword, I believe that it would destroy the very foundations of this city, as many seek for these pieces. The piece my master has hidden somewhere in this region must remain secret, and if that mammal that you saw is taking a piece away from here, it can only be for the best, for the time being." As you see, he kind of is trying to like cover that base of, you see his face seems to hold a bit of expression of maybe remorse. He, as in like he wasn't trying to trick you guys. You see Zimus then continues, "I do think we can work to retrieving the hilt, but the more important matter is discovering how to save this last kingdom. Because should it fall, it would not matter what pieces of any sword should be gathered."
So, how do we tackle something as big as how a kingdom's gonna fall? Like, do we need to arm the citizens? Do we need to build better defenses? Like, what are you insinuating?
You see, and you see at this point, he kind of turns again to you all. "I have come here and have studied, and I do not know what needs to be done to save the city, but if my master believed in you all through his messages, I believe you can figure out how to save this kingdom. There are, of course, some that could help. I do know, and you see at this point he kind of like he seems to be cycling through a bit of his memory here. The kingdom of Ylvanor, if I remember, is run by Queen Rihan. The queen and her king consort Wolfric have ruled here for many years. But of course, this city spreads many miles. There are many dangers. I could not tell you what this enemy is planning, nor, unfortunately, who this enemy is. This is why I sought you out, because I need your help. Indeed, I did not know why you were here, because I assumed I could find you before you entered the city, before perhaps others caught wind of your presence, those that might indeed be working towards the destruction of order.
Side note, DM, can I make an insight to see if like murmurings around the bar happened about my eye? Because if not, I'm just gonna straight up put a blindfold over my eyes.
Go ahead and make an insight. I'll let you know passively. Probably not, but make the insight. I think there's still stuff you can get from this.
Well, while that rolls. Oh, it was almost a 17. It's a 9.
9.
So,
I would say this, Adora. It's very much, I'd say actually on the insight on a 9, it's more of that, like, kind of what he was saying. It's like, yes, I am someone with one eye, but now I don't have a broken sword. And so, whereas, like, like, if you really want to blind yourself, that's a wild choice. I will just say, like, that is completely on you. I'm not going to force you to do that. It's very much just like, maybe, but at the same time, I don't want to say the damage has been done, but it's like, if people really are looking for you just as much as Zimus is, it's not going to matter.
gotcha. Okay. Alright. So the door's gonna start racking her brain, though. Wasn't there, and kind of takes her tone down. Isn't there someone over there talking about how someone's just disappeared? Nothing, I wouldn't say nothing. People just don't disappear. And I'm kind of looking to the rest of my party to see what they think.
You've spoken just a little bit, and yet we all know how important that sword is to you. I think that the sword is as close to you as you are to it, so if it's meant to be, it'll find its way back to you. For now, I think we may want to take into account the warning that he's giving us and find a new heading.
A new heading, like, leave the city?
Honestly, yes.
You see Zemus freaks out. You would leave the city? I have implored you. It needs to be saved.
The thing is, okay, so Minaret's thinking is we don't know what to do. And he's not really giving us any more information other than my master said that you guys would know what to do. We don't even know what exactly is threatening the city. So I was thinking that if there is a danger, it might be lurking outside the city. Like it might be a danger from outside.
Oh, like perimeter-wise, like maybe just seeing if there's stuff outside.
I mean, I guess
Did in fact kind of sound though like you were saying, let's just dip. Like I get why he's freaking out about it.
Well, that was kind of funny. It's just like, let's leave.
We did hear that one.
Even I was like, oh, is that the kind of campaign we're playing?
Sorry. We did hear a rumor about an innkeeper of the Snowball, I think, in being killed, well, dying. I guess we could investigate around that, because if there's a suspicious death, maybe that will lead us to what the danger is.
Yeah. I'd say if there's a string on the proverbial sweater, let's look at it.
For sure. If you guys want, yeah, you could send someone over to another table, maybe to investigate some of these rumors.
Yes, I volunteer.
I was about to say, who's got charisma in our party?
Oh, I'm a sorcerer.
I got plus.
I have good charisma, so I'm happy to try and talk with people, I guess.
Alrighty. If you want, go ahead. You can head on over Minrith and maybe talk to some of these people at another table. As you do so, I'll say you shimmy out. Zim is looking at you all just like, of course, I wish to be of any help I can. I apologize, I cannot give you more firm answers, but I am simply a priest. This is what I know.
No, you're good. You helped us a lot. Good. I kind of like. Oh my gosh! I just was introductions. I'm Adora. And like extends her hand out.
He says, I am Zimus of the Fisk people. And it is a pleasure to meet you, Adora. Who are the rest of you, of course, if I may have your names?
I'm Lord Shen. Yeah, we're muted.
I'm a gingerbread man.
I'm called Balka.
Minareth.
As you see, Zimus just... Then I am in debt, of course, to you, and anything I can do to help you in this goal of saving the people of the world, it would be an honor. As Zimus says this Minrith again, you can head over maybe to glean more information, listen in, and maybe talk to some of the other patrons in the bar. As you come over, you realize that the two people speaking seem to be a man and a woman. And as you approach, you will be able to then hear a little bit more of their conversation. As you do so, you will hear the man say, I mean, she was the most famous innkeeper in all of in all of Ylvanor. The snowball is what brought travelers here. Her mead was truly something. In fact, I remember my first time I ever came to the city. I was taking some job with some construction, and honestly, that's what got me through that job. It was amazing. But of course, I mean, to be found dead, and you see the other woman just says, well, if you ask me, I think there was a bit of foul play involved. Did you know that she was married at one point? You see the man goes, no. She says, yes, married. And in my opinion, and at this point, Minrith, I think you're close enough that the two are going to kind of falter in their conversation, see you, and you see the woman just says, hello, what can we do for you?
I'm so sorry to interrupt, but I think you said something about the owner of Snowball Inn being dead? That's horrible news. My party and we were hoping to stay there.
You see, go ahead and give me a persuasion check, but that's already very good.
No. Do I have inspiration? Oh.
Help action.
Fun fact, Minrith's the only one there.
Oh.
Minrith, I will do what I've started doing for parties. I will think in this moment a natural one will indeed provide a success, but something worse will happen later on.
Oh, crap.
As you see, the man and woman kind of look at each other, then turn, and you see this woman, she has a bunch of pouches at her belt. She kind of like starts fiddling with a couple, but she says, yeah, no, I mean, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even know you were thinking. Yennefer Elkhorn is her name. She was found dead in her inn, just right behind the bar, just a little more than a few days ago. I mean, the Snowball's the most famous mead in the kingdom. I didn't know you were planning on staying there. Yes, they're still waiting to see who can, in fact, maybe take up ownership, is what my friend and I were discussing. And you see the man kind of nods, just, right, yes, we were just talking about that. What was your name?
Oh, my name is Mineris, and I'm going to pull out a chair, sit down, and raise my hand. Do they have meat here? I guess I should ask that.
You see one of the servers comes over, just, yes, we've got mead or wine or brandy.
Yes, a round of mead, please. Thank you so much.
Round
And
of-
I'm going to slip the waiter, what is a normal amount for alcohol? I actually have no
Oh,
idea.
very good. Right now, a glass of mead is about 1 silver piece. Because mead, or shall we say ale, I guess more ale is kind of the very most common. So
Mhm.
ale, you're looking at probably paying anywhere between like 5 copper. Mead is a bit sweeter, of course, where you're gonna have to pay about a silver. And then once you start getting to wines and brandies, the silver pieces kind of rack up a little bit.
Okay.
But indeed, you
I'm
see,
going to pay him 5 silver then.
you pay 5 silver. You said, coming right up, round of mead. You see the man and woman kind of like are taken back. Say, "Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you." And you see the woman introduce herself. My name is Wenya. I'm a professional venatore, hunter. And you see the man kind of just shakes your hand. Just, Joffrey. Just kind of do freelance, of course, and more construction or building. And as Wenya and Joffrey kind of introduce themselves, they kind of give that very brief intro. They both kind of grew up in the city, know of each other. Wenya's kind of been in and around. Joffrey more stays here, just taking job to job. But of course, as they say that, you see the mead comes pretty quickly, of course. You paid actually a pretty good amount for it. And as they kind of sip, you see Joffrey just, oh, thank you. I must say, it's mighty kind of you. This meat is pretty good, but that's kind of the crux of this. You see, Yennefer, the innkeeper of the Snowball, she had the best mead you could find in any of the kingdoms. Now, I've taken work in a lot of different places, of course, but I mean, this, you can't get any better than, I mean, Ylvanor's mead. It was phenomenal. No one really knew how she did it. It's just so smooth and sweet, and it would cream just right in your mouth, where when you swallowed it, burned in that beautiful way that warmed your insides. And you see Wenya just
Side note
says,
to the rest of my party.
Mhm.
Sorry. Side note to the rest of the party. They said that they grew up in town, but their over conversation said that the first time they came to town. This is annoying. Unless there was a slip up I had.
I will then retcon. I apologize. I think I messed up there.
Well, I'm looking into things too much. Sorry. Shut
You're
up.
good. And in right do so. You just caught me on just a natural slip of the tongue. I apologize.
Don't worry, Eleanor. It's good to keep an eye out for that because he's really good at slipping little tiny details in, and we usually reason them away.
That's very
I
true.
mean, the squirrel disappeared in a puff of feathers.
That one I said on purpose, but I will get to that. As you all listen in, of course, Wenya and Joffrey then turn. Tell us about yourself, stranger. Where'd you come from, and how did you hear about the snowball?
Oh, I am from a caravan of gypsies, and I've traveled all over the world at this point. Well, I say world. That is quite generous. I've been able to travel all over the continent, but I haven't yet had the chance to cross the ocean. But in my travels, I heard about the famous mead from the Snowball Inn, and that's part of the reason why I wanted to try that. Basically, one thing led to another. I wound up in a party of adventurers, much like yourself, Wenry. We're Venatori, and I wanted to stop by the Snowball Inn since we were in the area, and then found out that it was shut down, and I wasn't sure why, but it sounds like it was a real loss for the entire city. My goodness, what? You said she was just found dead behind the bar. Did she drink herself to death? What happened?
You see, Wenya just kind of says, that's all I know. The city guard aren't really letting anyone in right now. If you ask me, of course, though, this seems like foul play. I wouldn't put it past.
No.
Okay, she did have an ex-husband. Yennefer was married to his man Holden Elkhorn. If you ask me, their divorce was a bit messy. I mean, they're no they're no celebrity, of course, in town, but when you're that popular, everyone kind of listens in, shall we say, on your affairs. And it was just their marriage wasn't working out, and one thing led to another, and she kept the inn in the divorce, and he just found another place in town, started working. But if you ask me, it definitely was him. I mean, already the inn stands then to go back to him. It's yet to come before some tribunals, but I would say if anyone killed her, it was her husband.
That's ridiculous. How can someone be so cruel as to just kill somebody over an inn of all things? My goodness gracious, what is the world coming to? Just gonna take a drink and make it clear that I'm getting into my drink and maybe not in full control of my tongue.
You see, as Joffrey says, that's it. I'm just saying, I bet if we were to get into that inn, I mean, they're not letting anyone in, but if I could get in, you would see, broad as daylight, she was murdered. They're trying to keep everything hush-hush, but I think that someone snuck in, her husband, and stabbed her. I mean, and honestly, you can't blame her. He stands to inherit so much. I mean, what else really could have happened?
That is a fair point. I don't know who else would care enough. Dang. At this point, I'm trying to figure out how to get the conversation going a little bit more, because it sounds like it was a pretty simple murder, not necessarily a citywide threat, if that makes sense. So I'm not sure. Actually, I have a great way to take this. This isn't a dangerous area of town, is it? Couldn't it have been a simple burglary gone wrong?
A burglary. No, the snowballs head up far up into the better part of town. Well, you're basically at the chariot's wheel at that point. And they kind of note the confusion, and you see when you just... the chariot's wheel, that's that big old... the stone and wood circles with the towers where the palace is, about mid-town. The snowball, that's probably one of the safest places you could get, is right outside. But of course, the snowball, you wouldn't expect it, except I've heard of these dark things happening across Ylvanor. I wouldn't be surprised to say. I mean, people are angry in the streets that their meat is getting rotten. There's rumors to the south of dangerous creatures that are amassing, but nothing in our kingdom. I mean, we've kept to ourselves, kept out of wars, and honestly, God save the Queen for that. And you see Joffrey kind of here just cheers with his bottle and downs it as well.
Same. The meat is all going rotten. Is there a disease or a virus going through the city?
You see, don't worry about that. I mean, honestly, you can still find meat. It's not like it's gone up in prices. Just people are worried it's tainted. Some claim that others are falling sick. That's just normal brouhaha. I bet just someone in the meatpacking district is spreading ill content just to get a leg up in competition.
Of course. Isn't everyone always trying to get up in the world? All right. Well, thank you both so much for welcoming me into the city. This sounds like a great place to stay for at least a little bit of time. If nothing else, maybe I can get some more gossip on what happened to the Snowball Inn and who will take care of it next. I'm going to put down my cup, put down a couple more silver, have another round on me, and walk away. And then kind of slowly amble over to my companions, so that I'm not super... I don't know, trying to make it look like a natural exit rather than planned.
Gotcha. That we're just making this look good. As you head over, within time you will be at your commands. How would you like to inform them of what you found?
I guess, what time of day is it, or night?
right now we are almost into the evening. It's actually almost to that point of, do we seek for like a room here, or
that's
do we
what
head off?
I would say that as we're headed towards the innkeeper to maybe purchase some rooms, just kind of start mumbling under my breath a little bit about how, well, there seems to have been a murder happening in the nice area of town, a very notable person. So I'm not sure if it's related to what's threatening the whole city, but there is whispers of meat going rotten, though most people don't seem to think that's out of the ordinary. There are monsters down south. I don't know how big of a threat they are. They didn't seem worried about that either. And I'm guessing by then we've made it to the counter.
Mm-hmm.
Then I guess need to get a couple rooms for the night. Unless they have a room big enough for all of us, but I don't know how likely that is.
Shen is going to force Zimus into paying for our rooms.
Go ahead, give me a persuasion check, and we might roleplay this out.
Fisk, you've informed us that we are key to saving the city, that you are intent on assisting us. We are travelers and adventurers and could use lodging. Your help would be greatly appreciated.
You see, he goes, of course, any way I can. I think I have enough money left to put you up for 3 nights stay. But of course, I would have to head back then to my kingdom for any more money. You see, kind of like pulls out a purse, turns just, I can get you, and does that quick head count of like you, Minareth, Valka, Adora. I can get you 2 rooms, of course, I believe, with 2 beds each. Whatever your small cookie friend would like to stay in. I could put you up for 3 nights, and you see, he pulls out a total of like 7 gold pieces, hands them to you, Shen. Just
Gingy wants to say something.
oh yes.
As I feel that it is not moral for others to insist upon others purchasing on the rooms like that, sir.
I personally feel terrible about it, but Shen is that this is fine.
This is fine. What could go wrong?
Also, I don't need much.
Side note,
I would like
7 gold is what Shen got.
Yes, but what was that, Gingy?
I'm small, so I don't need much, but I would like to help so that he is not left footing the entire bill.
Yes, you see, as in total for 2 rooms, it would definitely be able, 2 rooms, 2 beds for 3 nights. He is going to be able to pay 7 gold pieces, would get you 3 nights stay. Anyone who wants to like supplement their own gold or silver in any way they see fit, can definitely do so to give him coin as well.
I was about to say, I feel very bad taking money from this man. Can I just, like, field that?
Yes, you can.
You said it was 7 gold?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
You instead, I'll say yes, Valka, if all of you... Gingy brings up this morality point of like, I don't think we should do this. Valka, you can quickly instead head over to the bar and get your party rooms for the next 3 nights. As you see, Zim is just... Of course... I'm so sorry, what was that?
I would like to help, just however we want to split that.
Sure. You could both pay 3 gold and 5 silver pieces if you want. Yeah, just like a split, like, alright, let's all chip in, if that makes sense.
Okay, we can do that.
Sweet. As that then happens...
I'm gonna sleight of hand give him 7 of my gold without telling him the party.
Alright, yeah, go for it, Adora. Just putting gold into his purse, not even like paying, just like putting it in.
Leading the party.
Shen, you're such a monster. We all were good people. um, as Zimus indeed will just, no, thank you. You are brave heroes willing to help fight against evil. I could ask nothing else. Thank you indeed. As Zimus kind of gives you all what seems to be almost kind of that fishy bow to you, uh, is going to get ready, just, if you need me, I am also staying in this inn in one of the upper levels. Just, I will continue to seek out every day any other information I can. And if you, of course, find information or need my assistance, but I should turn in for the night. And you see Zimus is going to, like, head off to his room. Valka, as you pay, like, I would say doing it, you do see, Valka, that the uh, woman who owns the inn, the halfling Droz, just kind of takes you, just, right, of course, this will get you your rooms. We can't, of course, pay for food or drink. That is a separate cost. But being lodgings here, we do have a back staircase down to a private bathhouse, which should provide a nice, comfortable steam rousing for any of our guests, if you so see fit.
Thank you so much.
And indeed, as night is closing, I will ask the party, would you all like to just go ahead and try for the long rest, or do you guys want to talk or do other things before resting for the evening?
How private is the bathhouse?
Sounds pretty private. It's like, it's really actually only accessible through this inn. Like, you have to have bought a key. Like, think like hotel wise of like, okay, we have our rooms, and once we have the keys to get to the rooms, there's just a way to the bathhouse that's only through.
Gotcha. I want to talk to my party and basically tell them, like, hey, maybe we should talk a little bit more in house? No?
I would agree with that. We should at least figure out a plan for what we want to do tomorrow with what very little information I was able to get.
Yeah, okay.
Solid. Alrighty. Yeah, as
Oh,
the party.
I forgot to ask.
Mm-hmm.
And Adora turns to Gingy and says, will the steam make you crumble? Are you going to be okay?
Sorry, we're having a little trouble hearing you.
Oh, that's fine.
I think she was just asking if the steam will, like, decompose Gingy or something.
Oh, yes. I think the magic that's keeping me alive will hold me together.
Alright.
Thank you for your concern. I had not thought about moisture in the
The least
air.
I could do after I was so rude to you today.
You don't have to worry about that at all. You were worried about your sword and upset. It's okay. I'm gonna give her a cookie.
You do not have to give me a cookie. I'm the one who okay. And with that, like, very defeated, but like accepting the show of love. So, okay, I'll take
Indeed. Would you, as the party, then, yes, you can go to the bathhouse and just, like, kind of in that, it's, I should say, bathhouse with a lot of steam rooms. There are, like, private baths, but the big thing are, like, rooms you can go in for just, like, sauna. And yeah, as a party, I would allow you guys, before heading to sleep, if you want to make plans for, like, on the morrow, like, what's really the goal, so to speak.
So, Henry, you were talking that one of the local tavern keeper had died, right?
Yes, there is an inn called the Snowball Apparently, it's the most famous inn in the area. It has the best mead anyone's ever had. They went on for quite a long time about the mead. Anyway, apparently she was found dead behind the bar in her inn. The word is that her ex-husband is the one who stabbed her because he stands to inherit the inn upon her death. I am curious, though, about how Joffrey knew that she had been stabbed, because he also said that the guards had not allowed anyone to even enter the inn since her body was found.
As a player, I thought that August said that he was guessing that she was stabbed.
That's he. Yes, he was telling you what he has heard. Like no one's letting you in, but I've heard she was stabbed. It's very much. I should say, these two people are completely normal. They were just patrons in need.
But then as I was explaining to her, I'm like, wait a second, how did he know she was stabbed? No, I liked them.
It's very much the like I heard that they heard that we heard. It is a rumor mill right now. You might have to keep going down. But yes, it was more like no one's allowed in, but I think it's because she was stabbed.
That makes sense. So yes, I'm not entirely sure whether this is going to be a major concern of ours, because while it is suspicious that she was killed, it does seem very likely that it was her husband, because she's not even in a very dangerous area of town. She seems to be in one of the safer areas. So it seems like it's very likely for her to have been the target.
It doesn't matter if you're in a bad area of town. If someone is plotting murder, I have
No, yeah, that makes sense.
In,
it's just that we're concerned about the entire city being destroyed, and the death of one woman seems less suspicious in regards to that than maybe all the meat going rotten or monsters being in the south.
That's true. I guess Adora's thought process is ruin doesn't always mean physical ruin. And Adora kind of explains, like, in the wars that she was in back on her home plane, that this sounds so sinister, but there's more than one way to cripple a nation. You could have beast attacks, sure, but if the economy fails, you can ruin a nation, right? And it sounds like this mead house was a central place for people across the world to come to.
That is a very good point.
So in the morning we can go and investigate and get to the bottom of what's going on. If it were something just to get the inn, or if there's something more at hand.
What if, because I know we need to rest, because some of us don't, this is an Elnor metagaming, like, should we long rest? Because Adora's suggesting, what if we sneak in tonight? Because if somebody's trying to cover something, they're going to have it cleaned up by tomorrow. If this was, like, with every minute we leave is another minute for somebody to clean up their tracks, if this was foul play, right? If the entity that is plaguing this town was somehow related to this murder, they're cleaning up their tracks as we speak. So what if we take a quick rest and then infiltrate tonight under the cover of darkness?
That's not a bad idea. I guess I can't remember because it's been too long since we last played, but where is everybody at with hit points and spell slots?
How is that you go?
I think I'm at full, but like my worry then is like if we don't keep a really good rest schedule, August will give us points of exhaustion. So like always, I think take long rests when we can get them. Oh, also
That's
speaking
true.
of stuff we wanted to do tonight, though, like, is there more stuff we want to get out of the book tonight, or like?
Oh, yeah. It's like if tonight is a research night, and then tomorrow night is when we go and try and infiltrate.
I would say maybe research tonight and even just get up early in the morning to maybe go and investigate, because in what my dad says anyway about being in the military, people are least aware in the early hours of the day because it's the night watch coming off of the night watch, and the morning watch is just waking up. So that might be the safest time for us to try and investigate anyway.
That is really smart. Okay, real world logic. Do we get inspiration point? There's no to get an inspiration point.
Well, now hold on. You're good. Basically, what it sounds like is going tonight because it's a smarter of like before
No,
things.
no, no. I was actually saying going early in the morning
Oh,
when people are coming off of the night watch and just starting the morning watch. That my dad says that is when things tend to be most vulnerable.
Uh, whereas you are right, a lot of crimes are actually committed in the early morning. I would say, actually, yeah, take a point of inspiration because that's a solid plan of if you want to head to the snowball, just like take a long rest, but like go really early in the morning to make sure you're hitting like a time where either you won't be spotted or you have more chance to look for things.
Thank you.
Street smarts.
Street smarts.
Sounds like we have the beginnings of a plan.
Sounds like it.
Alrighty. In which case, if that's the plan, you guys can definitely head off to bed. Going in for a long night's rest. But before you take the full long rest, can everyone just roll me a quick Constitution saving throw?
Also, I realized before we chose to do the long rest, cool descriptors of character with the bathhouse is that like unexplained giant scars across the door's back that looks like beast scars.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like scars. They're cool.
That's true. Alrighty.
That's 1-1.
Excellent stuff. Adora 21, Minarith 19, Valka 15, Shen 8, and Gingy, if you could just make me your con save. But right now it does look like everyone has succeeded on the Constitution saving throw. So you can all, of course, take the benefits of a long rest.
Yay.
Oh, Gingy barely. Oh, that's very close. As you all then can take the long rest, getting these good night sleeps, we will of course awaken on the 27th day of the month in a very early hours. And this is where we're going to take just a quick 5-minute break. Thank you all so very much. We will return then just in about 5 minutes. as we return back, the morning has broken. It is quite a frosty morning, I should say, here in Ylvanor. But as you all awaken to nice, warm, comfortable beds here at the Emerald Cauldron, all of you are able to awaken, start getting yourself some food. You're noticing that it's mostly like scallion cakes and smaller things that can be like grown with like scallops and fish, but nothing terribly unsavory for breakfast here. The Emerald Cauldron does quite well for itself. As you awaken, yes, is the plan. Do you, as a entire party, want to head off to the Snowball Tavern?
I believe so.
Yep.
Excellent. What I will say is, as you all head off, Minarith, you have the lead because you remember most of the conversation where last night Wayna and Joffrey have been giving you guys bits of ways to turn and twist heading off towards the center of the city. And indeed, the center of the city is known as the Chariot's Wheel. This large expanse of stone and wood that seem to circle this grand palace. Towers that feel like spokes lead to the central palace rooms and library, and off in this more northern quadrant of the city, very close to these set of inner walls, shall we say, lies the Snowball Inn. As you approach, you will see that even in this early, almost like very misty morning, there are a total of 8 guards that are standing watch at all corners of this tavern. The tavern seems very much grander than the Emerald Cauldron that you had just spent the night in, counting at least a good 3 to 4 stories, as well as a large area out back that you can tell is like more of a patio seating area, which leads to a bit of a stable where adventurers would put horses. Something very much in the realms of this is not just your normal run-of-the-mill tavern. This is quickly becoming the most popular place, if not indeed the most popular. As you approach, I would actually ask from the party, I will need a group stealth check if you are planning on heading up and in and trying to remain undetected by the guards here early this morning.
Okay. I have disadvantage, by the way. Sorry.
No excuse. I just rolled
yes.
40.
I also have disadvantage stealth. Are we all rolling? Sorry, I just got that.
Yes, you are. Hey, so Shen is leading strong with a 17. Adora got a 17, but you're about to re-roll, so we'll see what happens. Gingy with a nat 20. Makes sense. No one's going to find Gingy ever. Ooh, that is a natural 1 from Valka. Let's see what Adora gets.
Could have been a 17, but no, disadvantage.
Mm-hmm. That is how it works. Ooh, Adora with a 6. I will let you know.
Heavy armor?
Mm-hmm.
Would you be wearing your heavy armor on a mission like this?
No, I would not.
Do you guys want... I could retroactively say you would not have your armor, but Valka and Adora, I will allow you both to have your 17s if that is the case.
Yes, please.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think Valka's going anywhere without armor.
Mm-hmm.
It's that
All right.
So she's not the stealthiest. Well, unless we're like really, really sure we're not gonna have an encounter here. But I don't know. I feel like I'd probably have the armor and take the 1, unfortunately. Because
Gotcha.
for me, it would be that like the only reason I would take off the armor is knowing I'm gonna roll it at 1, and like that's cheating.
I like it. In which case, Adora, if you want to have Sans armor, I'll allow it to be the 17, but Valka, you could take the nat 1. I'm going to let the nat 1 succeed for now. Because again...
Oh no, you're anti-manning me. Oh no, it sounded so funny when you did it to other people.
Yes, it always does. Indeed,
Love it.
just like last night, I'm letting the nat 1 be a success, pushing the narrative forward, but indeed something much worse will happen. As
I'm gonna
Valka,
go reach that one.
all of you will enter in and quickly realize there is a bit of an opening. The guards are standing by at a lot of these different areas, but you're noticing that one of the trees out back does seem to stretch over and very close to one of the rooms on the second floor where you see a window. Slowly creeping your way forwards up the tree over the branches, all of you will notice at one point Valka almost falls and you all have to kind of stop and grab her, but no guards notice. And indeed, Gingy is completely disappeared this whole time. Gingy has stealthed in at 20. Heading up into the rooms, you can slide open the window and enter into the tavern itself. As you enter in, you will notice that even in the second room, there is a now faded scent of what could be described as iron. Would you guys like to go up a level or down to the ground level? Or stay here and look? What's the kind of vibe?
What way is the scent of iron stronger?
Scent of iron definitely seems strongest when you go down, like towards the stairway down.
Hmm.
I was literally about to say everybody keeps all their sketchy stuff in their basement, right? Like, my impulse would be to go down.
And
Yep.
he was found dead at the bar.
I'm gonna go up.
Alrighty. In which case, as the majority of the party, you head down. Adora, you're going to take the route upstairs. Shen, Gingy, Minareth, and Valka. Heading downstairs, you will be greeted by the large, empty entryway of the Snowball Inn. This entryway, you can see, has a beautifully ornate carved wood entry with like a bit of a sliding panel that you actually have to move out of the way to keep just immediate customers from heading upstairs before they've maybe paid for a room. The grand room you see now feels rather empty, almost like a ballroom, as most of the tables and chairs have been carefully stacked, probably by these guards, all the way up to the sides of the room, keeping the majority space open. And what you're noticing is at the bar, there is large splashes of reddish brown that seem to paint the walls and bar and floor around it.
This is a very morbid question, but is this too much blood for one person? To have come from one person?
Go ahead and make me an investigation check.
I suck at investigation, but I guess it's not a negative. Nope, it's bad. 5.
5. Would anyone else like to investigate?
I would as well, but I'm checking what my alchemist supplies can add to this. But I do want to make an investigation.
Indeed, yeah.
Yeah, I'll roll a check real fast. Yeah, not terrible.
Okay.
Minareth, Shen, Valka, and of course Gingy, as the four of you look in and around here. Minareth, you do think that this is too much blood for one person. Shen, this is too much blood for a stabbing. If someone gets stabbed, they don't bleed on the walls and floors and countertops. Indeed, Valka, on that 15, you are seeing there was a struggle as someone or something was in here attacking a person, and it was a violent fight. This is not something simple. This is not someone sneaking in and stabbing. Whoever did this, it looks like Yennefer, the owner, was aware and definitely struggled to apprehend her would-be killer, but it seems she was unsuccessful.
Well, that's sad. Is there... Dang, I suck at investigation. Is there... does it look like anything has been taken?
I will say nothing down here at the bar seems taken. But with that, we will actually then quickly cut upstairs with Adora. Heading upstairs to the 3rd story, you are greeted by a lot of stuff, and I will kind of quickly explain, Adora, that you're realizing the 2nd story is for patrons of the bar. This 3rd story seems like a private dining area for other patrons, just like how different hotels can have like levels of accommodation where the higher up you go, there's different suites. Adora, you realize you were looking at a full like kitchen area with a better dining system, where then for like patrons of the bar, food and drink would be brought down below to probably that kitchenette, something just for serving. But this is where people would truly eat. Adora, this place looks ramshacked. There is a lot of stuff moved around, scrapes against the floor. It looks like someone has been throwing things around up here.
Yeah. Throwing things just in general, or throwing things... Like, can I make an investigation check to see if it's a coordinated throwing things of looking for something, right?
Yeah, make me an investigation
Like, if
check.
there's a specific part of the room that's untouched where they found said thing?
Yeah, make the investigation. As you make that, we will cut
Well,
downstairs
that rolls.
for Shen, Valka, Minorith, and Gingy. For the 4 of you, is there anything else you would like to look at down here? Or
That
look
is going to be
into?
a 16.
Alrighty.
I guess
Yeah.
a question after whoever just said something. I'm so
Sorry, no, it's the... Here's my thing. I don't think there's technically a mechanic for this in D&D, but is there a way to, like, analyze some of this blood and figure out, like, who or what type of creature at least this might have come from?
You could...
Do you have an idea of, like, what to start tracking down?
If you have a way to collect a sample, you might be able to study it over time.
So... I don't know what gives me this, but I have, like, alchemist supplies in my inventory. Would that be helpful to, like, collect a blood sample with little vials and things?
Here's what I'd say. Shen, don't you also have alchemy supplies too?
I do, and looking at the rules, it's more for identifying like toxins and chemical type stuff versus well, I guess that would be up to you though.
I would say on its own, probably not, but because 2 of you have them, it would be one of those things where it's like, probably not right now, but if you both took samples and both worked on this, you might be able to gain some information.
I would at least want to try. What's the point of a blood hunter if I can't just scrape some blood off a wall and find a creature, right?
I would definitely agree with that. I am curious because it sounded like there hadn't been any knowledge of Yennefer's body being removed from the premises. So the fact that we're not seeing her body kind of makes me wonder if there's a secret way out of the inn.
Alrighty. I like that. Here's what I will say then. As, again, Valk and Shen, you can definitely start pulling up some of these vials as Minrith, you start wondering about secret entrances. We will cut back Adora upstairs on a 16. This room looks like it was picked once over and that nothing was found. That every stone has been turned in this room.
Gotcha. Okay, so nothing to find here, but someone was looking for something up here.
Correct.
Okay. All right. I'll go down and I'll tell my friends what I saw.
Alrighty. You head all the way back down as you can tell your friends that, and Minrith, yes, would you like to try to search for a secret entrance?
Yes, because I also realized that you told me that Minarith is pretty sure that's too much blood for just one person. And yes, they're going to try and analyze the blood. But then there should be the body of another person or creature. So yeah, the fact that we're not seeing any bodies is kind of sus. Oh, that's not bad. That's a 16 on investigation.
A 16. I will let you know that on a 16, you have not beaten the DC. You're looking around. All of you are looking at this bar, at the different points of entrance and exit.
Can I get the help action?
You can give the help action, Adora, because you all will realize time is also running out. Indeed, the hours are starting to get a bit longer, lighter outside, and before too long, you think guards might have to start coming in. Again, this is a crime scene. I mean, eventually you gotta clean stuff up.
Right. Sorry, guys. I have a 0 to investigation, so it's just a roll of the dice, and 16 was definitely the higher.
I have a +1. Does anybody else is better than that?
I will actually say
Shen's pretty good at investigation, but I was wanting to look for something else.
I have +4 investigation.
if Falco wants to, and then Shen, what did you want to look for?
So it looks like there were, again, more than just one person's worth of blood. There was definitely a struggle going on here. I was wanting to look for evidence of like what type of fighting was going on. Like, was this somebody swinging heavy weaponry around? Was this a hand-to-hand type? Was this claws? Like, I just want to get an idea of what type of fighting this was.
Gotcha. So I will let you know this. This is going to be a survival check because this is almost a bit of tracking is what's going on here. As you roll that Valka on an 18, looking around the room, you will be able to notice a few things. One, there is a lot of commotion, so to speak, of like, there's a lot of like that noise of the room of, okay, chairs are everywhere, things are everywhere, and nothing is jumping out of like, that's a secret entrance, and it's not a good thing. Because after a while, Valka, you will notice though, the chairs and doors and everything, all been pushed to the side to make this now much more grander room. On the opposite side of the room, there is a door that seems, when you walk over, you kind of turn the knob, open it up, and it opens into this like small little storage closet of supplies and buckets and mops, probably to clean. But in the very bottom, away from all the noise of the room, all the craziness of things to look for, there is blood in the supply closet.
Oh boy. So we're checking out the closet?
If you would like to.
I would like to see what's bleeding in the closet.
Alrighty. Shen, that was a natural 1. As far as you can tell, in this struggle, you would assume this had to have been at least one person who was being assaulted, and you would probably bet 3 people who were the aggressors. This looked like a group thing, like almost like a hit or a jump on someone. Because you would be kind of in that assumption of most of the blood that's happening is either from the victim or like accidental when the victim maybe got off a shot or a swing on someone attacking them.
I guess I'll convey this information to the rest of the party as well.
You convey this information right when, yes, and Valka, at this moment, you would find the blood in the supply closet. In which case, what do people want to do then with the supply closet? Because the 18 was just to find the area.
I mean, is it not like a door that I can open to see what's in the closet?
Yes, in the closet, I've already told you, supplies, mops, buckets, different rags.
Sorry, I pictured that wrong. For some reason, I thought you meant I was like seeing blood leak out from under the door or something, and I had to like open it. And does that make sense? I was gonna like find a body or something.
Gotcha. No, indeed,
So-
it's in the supply closet. There is blood.
Okay, I see.
Is the blood like?
Are there like bloody footprints leading away?
No. That means they cleaned it up.
Or is there blood dripping from somewhere, or does it look like it's
like,
coming
is it
from
dry
a
blood?
false back or something?
I will say this. This is going to be a group investigation check to figure out what the meaning of the blood in the closet is then.
Oh, that was cock. Come on. That was...
My little sister is listening in, and her idea is there may be clothes or something on the body so that we don't see the body initially. I don't know if that counts right. Never mind, a magical spell on it. Okay, thank you, Nick.
Hey, DM,
Yes.
my dice took the number when it was still cocked. Can I please roll again?
What I would actually say is this. We have already hit 3 10s and 2 7s. I don't think even if anyone had a chance to reroll, that would help.
Okay.
So what I will say is this. The blood in the closet is up to whatever you think to interpret out of it.
Can I try and get a sample of this for later as well, and be like, see if it like matches or, just for later?
For sure. You get a sample of the blood at the crime scene and the blood in the closet.
I think I'll do that as well.
Awesome. Yes, Shen doing it as well. Yes?
Sorry. I want to ask if my party can come upstairs, and granted, it also gets us closer to our way back out, right? But to help investigate and see if there's anything I missed up in the top floor.
Mm-hmm.
So I can definitely tell that some of my friends have a better eye than I do.
Yeah. If you guys want to do that, that sounds good.
How close are we to like normal operating hours? I mean, the inn's not operating right now, but what time is it?
Based on the checks you've been giving, I will give you guys this. You all have 2 checks before you really got to get out of Dodge. Because again, normal operating hours, that's a good point to make sure. Technically, again, they are in that kind of perpetual close, but in 2 checks, or what we'll say in about a few more minutes, you think guards or other officials are probably going to have to start coming in, probably to clean up or do stuff. So you guys have 2 checks apiece left before you would have to go.
Really quick, there was one thing I wanted to do before we left the basement. I did want to use one of my checks to do an Arcana check, just in case there was something magical going on in the closet.
Oh, okay. You want to use Arcana check? Go ahead, roll
rolled well. That's a 19.
You don't think there's anything magical in there. Again, in this Arcana check, you kind of reach out, and it's not as great as a detect magic, but even on 19, it's like, okay, this seems like a very normal supply closet.
Okay, cool. That's it then.
Okay.
Okay. I'm happy to go upstairs check out what's going on upstairs. If people start coming in, we should be able to hear them. They're going to start at the bottom floor versus the top floor, so we should have some fair warning to get out if we get surprised. So I'm happy to go upstairs.
Gotcha. In which case, if you guys head upstairs, Adora can show you indeed this larger, above the floor, which had all the, like, rooms and places to live, indeed was the floor of just the kitchen and all of this dining area that has been just ripped apart, so to speak. Is there anything people would like to do here, or do we want to do like a group investigation in this floor?
Dora called us all up here for a second opinion. I'd be down to just do like a group investigation check.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I think so I'm really bad at investigation, which is why I'm trying to reason potentially a lower DC out of you. If she really was hiding something, then she would have found a hiding place. The classic thing is either in something that's locked or under a loose floorboard. And so instead of going there, because I'm guessing her assailants would have checked those places already, I would like to see if there is a hollow area in the wall, or potentially even something that can be removed in the ceiling, or a hiding place.
Ah, I see that. So instead of just like looking the room, it's specifically for a hiding spot.
Yes.
I will then say, yeah, if the group wants to give an investigation check, I will say with that reasoning, it's a lower DC.
Okay, cool.
I would also be looking for.
There's another 19. Oh my gosh. No, that's a 4. No, it is 19. Sorry.
I would be looking for other signs of struggle as well. Like, if she ran a pretty big establishment, she probably wasn't the only person around.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess maybe the throwing everything around is the sign of a struggle, but I'm just looking for more blood type stuff.
Gotcha. I will say then, let's see, that's a 19 from Minareth, 14 from Valka, a 5 from Adora, 18 from the Gingerbread Man, and a 24 from Shen. Now there's a lot to unpack here. I'm actually going to start with Shen. Shen, you have rightfully to do something about this crime scene that I will kind of clue you into. This is a big establishment, which means why was there only one victim? There was one area covered in blood that definitely was a problem. On a 24, though, I think you're looking around and noticing if there were other areas, they covered up then someone else here that got hurt. Because if there was just one victim, that would have to mean every other person in this establishment, any other guest, any other servant, any other just passerby, somehow had to be in on it, which would be a truly huge conspiracy. And so, Shen, I will give you this. Why do you think then there could have been blood in a closet and no other signs of a scuffle?
So that might be towards a secret door or something coming from inside the closet. If it was a quick in and out, they didn't necessarily need to run into anybody else.
Mhm. That is pretty smart. For the rest of the party, on a 19, Minareth, you are going along the walls. And as you knock through, everything up here feels completely secure. Indeed, at one point, you find what looks to be like a lock safe near what maybe at one point was some like alcohol, but you're noticing that the safe had been busted open and then thrown to the side. But I will give you this, Minareth. If something's happening, if people are in a struggle or if something suddenly happens, they would only have minimal time to do stuff, right? And if the crime scene is on the first floor, but they were searching on the third, what could that mean?
I would say that it sounds like there were two groups. Or, I mean, I'm so sorry, Shen. For some reason, your mic is really, really quiet, and so I couldn't really hear anything that you were telling August. But I think it comes down to something about there being two victims, which I feel like seems pretty clear. So then
Sorry.
I don't know if maybe we didn't hear any whispers of that, and I feel like that would have been said. For a second, I was wondering if maybe Yennefer had a child, like maybe not even a child. I don't know how old she is. It could be an adult, but a son or a daughter.
I think, though, I'll lead you back, Lonnie, because you kind of got it.
Thank you.
Why is there violence downstairs but searching 2 stories up? There must have been 2 groups.
Okay. Where are we upstairs? Are we over the area that we were at in the basement?
Yes. I think it's very easy, though, to notice there's no, like, big closed off areas to denote, like, secret elevators or things, just because upstairs and the floor below you, the, rooms of the inn are very much, like, easily identifiable. Like, the area above where anything would have gone down, it's that, okay, well, upstairs would have just been a kitchen table, which is now overturned.
This is a long shot. When we were outside of the inn, do the dimensions match what we're seeing on the inside? Or is there too big of an area in the floor? Like, is there a crawl space in the floor?
I think as just because based on just passive perceptions, everything looks very normal.
Okay. Ugh. I think my brain just isn't working tonight because I feel like you're trying to lead me to something pretty obvious and I'm not getting it. I'm so sorry.
You're good. Anyone else in the party, if you guys want to chime in or have stuff, I think everyone except Minareth still has one last check they could make before the, like, needed escape time would occur.
Just kind of my thoughts right now. So, sorry, is that a little bit better to hear me?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
So,
It's a little louder.
okay. So conclusions from mine was that maybe the people that came in and killed Jennifer came in through a secret entrance through the closet, which is why there's no other signs of struggle or fighting up here.
That would make so much sense.
And from yours, looking like 2 groups, this might have been in 2 independent groups, like not even related to each other. Somebody came in, took Jennifer out, and then somebody else came in and ransacked the place. So maybe it wasn't a tandem operation.
What if it was somebody found out, like Group B found out about Group A and utilized that time that Jennifer was getting murdered to then ransack the top and vice versa?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm wondering if we just cleaned up the mess. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. It's the I wasn't like hopping in earlier or paying the best attention because it was kind of that like individual on like the 19 or whatever. But part of what I heard was something about like if you only have so much time while you're being murdered, like why is this the place where we're seeing signs that someone was? So it's that like is or was there something hidden, right? That like, oh, because she had this like crazy artifact in her closet and either like she made sure that it stayed hidden or like someone went back to find it. Like, does that make sense? Like the question I'm trying to ask?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I have a question, DM.
Yeah.
I'm having Adora's a bit of a hunch because she didn't get much on the investigation. Kind of in line with the whole she knows that her friends have better eyes. Our prophecy friends said that essentially that there was a shard somewhere in this city. We have found out that this murder is more than just. Well, we found out it's a murder, right? Everybody thinks she's just dead suddenly, right? We found out it's a murder. Stuff has been ransacked, which means somebody's looking for something. I want to know if I can make a religion check, or actually more. Arcana's the same. I'm trying to basically like a homing beacon. I want to see if I can find out where that shard is. I think it's in this tavern.
All right. I'm gonna have you tell me what you think the check should be.
It would be religion,
Okay.
I think.
Go ahead and make me a
But would you
religion
have
check.
wisdom modifiers?
Yes, no, I've started allowing religion based in a wisdom. Just makes way more sense to me, D&D wise. Um, just because
We already have
anything
history.
related to religion and intelligence is just a history check, and so and people have argued with me online saying, "Oh, but yeah, it's reading of the tomes." I'm like, "Which is history? That's all the history checks are supposed to be." So,
Uh-huh.
so yes, if you want to make me a religion, but use your wisdom modifier.
All right. So whatever it rolls will be +2. Oh, you whore. Okay, that's 9. How many more checks do I have?
That would be your last one before it's really time to go.
Hooey.
Can I? Sorry, finish up.
There you go.
Well, okay, so I was just going to distilling down from the word blurb I gave you earlier from a question. I think I found a way to like narrow that down into the check that I want to make, which is like I would like to roll investigation to see if whatever people were looking for with the whole ransacking is it still here somewhere. Did she manage to like rehide it better, or like have they not found it, and is it something that we can find?
Gotcha. Yes, that would be an investigation check for has something been found? And are we just looking for signs of discovery?
Ooh, and I have advantage.
Um, that would have to come from someone else's final checks.
And I'm out. I'm sorry.
I rolled a 6.
Is there
No.
a way that I can help because I'm small and like and I could get into nooks and crannies or like
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say for sure, Gingy. It's like we'll allow the help action here because it's that because Valka has like we need to see has something either A been found or B been not found. Like was this unsuccessful or successful and using Gingy to look for the small areas. Go ahead then Valka can remake the roll.
Thank you. Let's hope this one rolls better. Much better, thank you. That's a 19.
Alrighty. Gingy, as you're looking around, you and Valka have this point. Gingy, I think you have, like Valka says, if you only have seconds to hide something, where would you hide it? Gingy, you would be able to head downstairs as you and Valka are looking and realize near the bar, with a lot of the blood, there definitely is a secret compartment underneath the bar itself. Wherein, being very small, you can kind of slip through the crack on the underside of the bottom of the bar. And in this tiny little compartment that you're in, you think you see what looks to be a large rectangular object here in the dark. As these checks are being made, everyone would be able to notice passively there is no more noise outside.
Shite.
Time to go.
No more noise outside as in it's moved inside, or just it's very quiet?
Eerily quiet.
Yeah.
I would say for, let's see, Valka and Gingy, you would be kind of first floor, because Gingy, you have just entered this little compartment with Valka of like, oh, we think we may have found something. For Adora, Minareth, and Shen, any of you three can look out at the windows on this floor you're on. Every single guard outside of this building is lying dead in the street.
Oh, shoot, we need to go.
As that happens, Adora, you turn around and come face to face with a figure cloaked in black, got mask pulled up, who looks you dead in the eye, just, right, now let's see if you found anything, because you shouldn't be here. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Yo!
Isn't it?
Thank you all so very much for playing. Thank you for listening. I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Oh, no, we're gonna die.
I'm scared.